Good evening and welcome to the City of Battle Creek, Michigan, to our Battle Creek City Commission meeting for June 4th, 2024. It is 7 p.m. We'd like to welcome you to the City of Battle Creek. And tonight we're going to start out with a moment of silence for our invocation, and then we're going to call upon Commissioner Jake Smith to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Would you please stand for a moment of silence for our invocation? Commissioner Jake Smith.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Smith. The next item on our agenda is roll call. Madam Clerk, when you're ready.
I see it goes way up this side.
Commissioner Ballard.
Present.
Commissioner Lance.
Here.
Commissioner Morris.
Here.
Commissioner O'Donnell.
Here.
Mayor Banky.
Here.
Commissioner Reynolds.
Present.
Commissioner Simmons.
Here.
Commissioner Smith.
Present.
And Vice Mayor Sophia.
Here.
We have three proclamations this evening. We're going to first start off with just talking about Men's Health Month. We want to thank this organization who every year contacts us and really tries to encourage us to talk more about some of the things that men can do to prevent diabetes, cancer, just taking good care of yourself. Next, we'll have Linmore Gray here to accept a proclamation for our Juneteenth Family Day 2024. And then finally, we're going to have Shirley Tuggle here to accept a special certificate of recognition for professional women's clubs. So not a lot to do tonight, but we thank you very much. Please allow me to read this one. Despite advances in medical technology and research, men live shorter lives than women on the average of almost 5 years. And whereas educating the public and healthcare providers about the importance of healthy lifestyle and early detection of male health problems will result in reducing rates of mortality from disease. And whereas men who are educated about the value of preventive health can play a prolonging their lifespan and their role as productive family members, will be more likely to participate in health screenings. And whereas fathers who maintain a healthy lifestyle are role models for their children and have happier, healthier children. And whereas Men's Health Month focuses on a broad range of men's health issues, including heart disease, mental health, diabetes, prostate, and colon cancer. And whereas neighbors of the City of Battle Creek are encouraged to increase their awareness of the importance of a healthy lifestyle, regular exercise, and medical checkups. Therefore, on behalf of the citizens of the City of Battle Creek, we do hereby proclaim the month of June 2024 as Men's Health Month in the greater Battle Creek area, and we encourage all neighbors to pursue preventive health practices and early detection efforts throughout the year. So like I said earlier, if you're not getting an annual checkup, encourage your family member to contact Grace Health, contact Borges or Bronson. They have doctors that they're looking for new patients. So it's very important. It's also important to cut back on the consumption of food. I know my doctor encourages me every time. My wife says, no, 1,200 calories is not healthy. So it's all important, and diabetes is one of the major causes of death nowadays throughout the entire country. So we encourage you just to be healthier, happier, and mentally fit. Thank you very much on behalf of the citizens. Lingmore Gray, could we have you up front? Thank you. I believe this event has turned into the premier summer celebration event in Battle Creek, if you ask me. I really feel that people turn out in groves. There's a lot of activity. There's baseball games going on, there's basketball games going on, you got the Flash Park, there's so much. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to you, say a few things, then I'll present the.
Well, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Commissioners, staff, and everyone here and tuning in. We just really welcome everyone in the surrounding areas and in Battle Creek to come out to Juneteenth Family Day. That is our local celebration where we recognize and celebrate the holiday that is Juneteenth. It is taking place in a two-day fashion on Friday, June 14th at 7 p.m. We have a family-friendly movie. Wish is the movie, and it'll be shown at Washington Heights United Methodist Church. Again, 7 o'clock, free popcorn, free pizza. You can't beat it. And then on June 15th is the main celebration. It starts with free hot dogs, pop, and chips at 11 o'clock until they run out. There's 650 of them, so come on down. They do go fast, though. So, then at 12 o'clock we have a program, and then we have some major headlining artists that are going to be there on the stage throughout the day, and then we end at 6. But we've got food vendors, retail vendors, a bunch of information vendors, a kids corner, everything the mayor was talking about. There's a lot going on in the park, and we just have a really good time, and we have educational components. If you have a high schooler, now is the time to participate in our essay contest. We're taking those essay applications through June 9th, so there's still a little bit of time there. And they've got some great prizes, $500 for first place, so that's a really good prize. And an incentive to really talk about Juneteenth and how it's applicable to today. And then if you want more information, we're constantly updating the website, juneteenthbattlecreek.com, juneteenthbattlecreek.com, or you can find us on our Facebook page at Battle Creek Juneteenth Celebration. Thanks.
Well, thank you, Lynn. We appreciate everything you and your husband do in order to promote the festivity for the 2 days. Will the movie take place outside or inside at Washington Heights? Inside. Good. Great.
And I did want to say, because I'm looking at him right now. Every year we have some community service award winners, and one of them is here, Marcel Heath. So give a wave. He is going to be receiving one of our community service awards. So congratulations. Also, the late Rosetta Brewer is going to be receiving one. Her family member is coming, her son, to receive that on his behalf. Michelle Warren, stay away from her because she will work you out every time. But she is being rewarded for just everything she's doing in the health realm in the community. And Reverend John Boyd is going to be recognized as well as the Neighborhood Planning Council too, for their efforts to get the splash park in Washington Heights in Claude Evans Park. It saved us last year. It was so hot last year, and it got a lot of work. It got a workout last year.
Once again, thank you very much. We appreciate everyone's work. And if they want to have a booth, are you still taking booths at the event?
Yes, yeah, we are taking it up through the 7th, so you have a little bit of time there, because we're really trying to make sure that we have enough time to set up everything in the park for everyone. So we're cutting it off, a hard cutoff on June 7th, but do contact us through either one of those methods, the Facebook page or the website, and we'll be able to get you connected.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, on behalf of the City Commission, we want to recognize the Battle Creek Club of the National Association of Business and Professional Women's Clubs and their efforts to really be more helpful and representative of the people of Battle Creek. And this is our 51st annual Founders Day event. We want to wish them luck. And on behalf of the club, Lynn, would you please express to them that we appreciate everything they do in our community. Thanks.
Thank you.
Next item on our agenda is a presentation, and I'm going to turn it over to our city manager, and I bet she's going to give it to Ted.
No, thank you,
No?
Mayor. I
All
appreciate
right.
that. It's nice to see everyone tonight. No, I'm excited to welcome up Mr. Robert Elkert. He is the Executive Director for the Share Center. He's going to be talking about all the great things that they have accomplished with the ARPA grant the city provided to the Share Center. So welcome, Robert.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to show you what we did with the $364,000 that we got. It's just night and day difference. Anybody that's been to the building before and after is just absolutely amazed at how the difference that it's made. I do want to start, though, really quick with a trivia question. I don't know if you could, hopefully you have a copy of the presentation there. Can you, does anybody know what the Share Center was before it was the Share Center? Think 1980s? I bet you do.
It was either Hill Piston or Fred's Auto Trim.
Hill Piston Shop. Oh, you know what? I forgot to bring a candy bar. I was gonna.
I'll
Darn
stop
it.
by and get it.
I owe you one. Let's see. Yep, there's Hill Piston Service back in the 80s. The Share Center started in 1992, moved into that building at 120 Grove Street in 1996, bought the building for $275,000. We own the building outright. Our mission is to provide a mutually supportive, safe space with resources for the recovery of vulnerable people experiencing issues with homelessness, mental health, hunger, and/or addiction. And then we have a vision to empower people, to streamline a network of services, and create an inclusive community. Oops, the slides are kind of a little wonky, but that last one is, oh, there we go. You can move it up a little bit.
Recovery.
Those are our, yeah, there we go. Perfect. Those are our core values, and we believe those are the key ingredients to a successful recovery. Our approach is a three-step approach. The first step is to meet basic needs. If you're meeting people's basic needs, then they can spend more of their time and their energy and resources on the other things they need to take care of. Second step is to remove barriers. We see a lot of people with mental health and substance use issues. And I always have to be careful when I talk about this because I don't want to promote any stereotypes that people might have with the homeless population. The chronically homeless population only makes up about 10% of the general homeless population, but those are the folks that we tend to see at the Share Center. And so many of them are struggling with the mental health or substance use issue. And so we've got numerous support groups, including a smart recovery group that we started with the home ARP money that we got from the city. So we have a smart recovery group, a peer support recovery coach now, and we have a number of different enrichment activities, including a garden and community inclusion activities. And then other barriers that we see, we actually won an award a few years ago for the Michigan Coalition Against Homelessness for our ID and Vital Records program, because that's a huge barrier, not having an ID or vital records. And so that's another barrier removal service that we offer. Transportation, we just opened our showers a few weeks ago. We've got a new locker room now. So any barrier that we can help people overcome, because if you don't help them overcome their barriers, you're not really setting them up for success. And the last step, of course, is stabilizing income and housing. We have a full-time case manager who will help them maximize their monthly income either through benefits or employment or both. So now to the good stuff. So I mentioned some of the stuff that we did, and I just kind of want to show you some of the pictures. Hopefully you have this in your packet that's got the whole capital improvement timeline. We started in 2022 and just finished up just a few weeks ago, actually. And we went a little bit over budget, and we still have some things that we want to do. We want to build a recreation room so that we can have more music programming and our support groups can kind of have their own space without having to come through the rest of the building. So there it is. There, it said Hill in our hallway. Up until about 8 months ago, it used to say Hill right in our. That's the hallway for our cafeteria, and it doesn't say that anymore because you'll see what it looks like here. Oh, wait, that's the drop-in. I'm sorry. So the drop-in is where people hang out most of the day, and this is what it looked like before the renovations, and then you can see the huge difference there. The slides are still a little bit off, but that's fine. So new floors, new paint, new logo, new front desk, new furniture, everything. We had an interior designer it was actually driven by design. They put together the floor plan for us, and then we hired Second Wind, CityLink's handyman program. And they did a fantastic job. They probably did about 80% of the work, and of course their mission fits with ours very well. This is the cafeteria, what it looked like before, and then now it looks a lot more like a restaurant, a lot more like a cafeteria, a lot less like a soup kitchen. And that's really important because we do serve families on that side of the building. We want those kids to come in and just remember it as a normal, went to a restaurant, not something that they had to do because, their family was homeless or poor. So that really helps. This is the biggest difference, though, the bathrooms. This is what they looked like before, and then this is what they look like now. So just a world of difference. I appreciate it probably more than anybody else in the room because I had to use the old bathrooms. So, but we have hand dryers now, brand new toilets, brand new sinks. They got the motion detector, so we're a little bit more efficient there. And then this is their picnic table area just outside of the building before, and then this is what it looks like now. We've got a pavilion and brand new picnic tables and a concrete slab. So that's really nice. We want to, give people a nice green space where they can relax. This is the parking lot before and after. We did get it repaved, so you can see the difference there. This is what the old flooring looked like, and that's the new flooring that we have in there. Built 2 new offices, including my new office, and then we also have an office for our person that does the IDs and vital records. And then this is the showers. You can see when I took the picture, they were still under construction. That's a loading dock that's literally located right behind our front desk, so it was a perfect location to put the showers. And then this is what they look like now. We've got two brand new shower rooms. And I just ran the numbers. Since we opened them, it was about a month ago, we've had 167 showers taken so far. So we're pretty happy to provide that. We also bought a $40,000 fully accessible van from Mobility Motors here in Battle Creek, actually. And we use that to pick up people who need to come to our support groups who are maybe mobility impaired. Our peer support recovery coach, he's probably put 100,000 miles on that thing already because he's taken people every day to Summit Point, to Bear River, to Sacred Heart. So he's taken, I think it's somewhere in your packet. I don't have the number in front of me, but some upwards of 100 people he's worked with already, and he's only been with us for less than a year. Some other highlights from 2023, we do have a community garden. That's one of the enrichment activities that we offer. Many of you know Kathy Antaya. She's the world's best volunteer and gardener. She's probably here somewhere. There she is. And that's our annual holiday party. You can see Mayor Banky there with Bobby Holly. Both are very good friends of the Share Center, and last holiday party was a huge success. 150 people, every child, every adult got at least one gift. You can see in some of the materials that I left for you, our full-time peer support recovery coach, 60 clients, but he's taken 100 trips to the longer-term facilities that I mentioned before. And you can see that his clients that he's been working with are self-reporting mental health and life skills improvements by significant percentages. And then we added the smart recovery. Those are some of the numbers. We served almost 40,000 meals last year. So when I started there 5 years ago, we were serving about 25,000 meals. And this year we're on track to exceed 50,000. So in the last 5 years, our meals numbers have doubled. And then you can see some of the other numbers there. Almost 8,000 basic needs items distributed. We had 22,000 visits in the drop-in. And it was a very busy year. Our case manager, he had some success with his clients. 140 clients worked with. Average increase in monthly income was $531.62. And then if folks are interested in helping us out, we've got a wonderful committee called Friends of the Share Center. They're actually meeting this Thursday evening at New Holland if you want to get involved. They're helping us do some fundraising. Got some contact information there. Dan and Carmel from Progressive Printers, they've been active in that group, and so is Kathy. Volunteering, Kathy will put you to work. She will put you to work. So there's always stuff to do, and then of course donations. We we live off of in-kind and financial donations, of course. So some of those in-kind donations, hygiene supplies and winter clothing and those types of things. And then last year we had over 2,100 hours of volunteering by 75 different volunteers. So a lot of that was organized by Kathy, so thanks again, Kathy. And then that's the, happy to take questions. I probably went over my 10 minutes, so.
Thank you very much, Robert. Any questions of Robert? Robert, we want to say thank you very much. We appreciate everything that you do in our community.
And I did just want to really quickly add, I know a lot of folks are concerned about the Battle Creek shelter closing. I ran some numbers. We have a new Salesforce database, so I was able to quickly run some numbers. And since from June 1st to June 3rd, we had 514 check-ins from 172 people and served 312 meals. It's not been a huge impact on us. So all of that is just to say, we're well positioned to take care of anything that might have come from the shelter. So,
Thank you. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Next item on our agenda is Chair noting any added or deleted resolutions.
Yes, ordinance number 10-2024 was pulled from the agenda.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next item on the agenda is petitions, communications, and reports.
There were none.
Thank you. Next item on our agenda is introduction of ordinance 09-2024. Madam Clerk, when you're ready.
The city of Battle Creek was approached by a property owner with a development project on East Michigan Avenue that was not allowed within the existing R-3 multiple family residential district. This prompted planning staff to review surrounding parcels for similar limitations on possible development. The proposed rezoning of the subject properties to the T3 Neighborhood Commercial District provides flexible development opportunities both to the original property and to surrounding vacant lots. This will allow higher density housing and neighborhood commercial investment in an area that would greatly benefit from such investment. At the behest of the Planning Commission, staff held a meeting with the neighbor to gather additional public input on the rezoning proposal. At the May 22, 2024 meeting, the Planning Commission voted unanimously to recommend the City Commission deny a motion to approve the rezoning proposal based on a staff recommendation. While staff continues to believe in the potential benefits of opening the subject area up to additional commercial and service-related uses, staff also believes it may be beneficial at this point to allow the current zoning to remain intact with additional outreach efforts and discussions with local residents to take place during the master planning process scheduled to begin during the 2024 calendar year. If approved, the proposed ordinance will rezone 42 parcels located along East Michigan Avenue, Stiles Street, Spencer Street, Colvin Avenue, James Street, Vale Street, and Kane Street from R3 Multiple Family Residential District to T3 Neighborhood Commercial District.
I move for the introduction of ordinance 09-2024.
Support.
So moved and supported to introduce ordinance 09-2024. Are there any public comments at this time? Are there any public comments? Seeing none, are there any commission comments? Seeing none, I just want to remind everyone that the Planning Commission did deny it, so if you vote no, you will also deny it. Would you please vote at this time? The introduction has been denied. Next item on the agenda is adoption of ordinance 08-2024. Madam Clerk, when you're ready.
Chapter 294, General Personnel Regulations, was enacted in November of 1978, with Section 85 having been added in 1981, Section 075 having been added in January of 1987, Section 19 having been added in March of 94, Section 21 having been added in June of 96, and Section 20 having been added in 2015. Of the 23 sections in Chapter 294, 14 chapters had never been amended in the more than 45 years since they were enacted, even though they don't reflect current practice. In February of this year, pursuant to ordinance number 01-2024, sections 04 vacation leave and 05 sick leave and accident were amended, and 075 performance evaluation program was repealed. This proposed ordinance, number 08-2024, if adopted, will amend Section 06 of Chapter 294, General Personnel Regulations, by making changes to other leaves of absence for consistency with city policies and to align the bereavement leave with represented employee agreements.
I move for the adoption of ordinance 08-2024.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to adopt ordinance 08-2024. Are there any public comments at this time? Are there any public comments? Seeing none, are there any commission comments? Seeing none, would you please vote on the adoption of ordinance 08-2024? Ordinance 08-2024 has been adopted. Next item on our agenda is public comment regarding consent agenda and resolutions not on the consent agenda. If you'd like to make public comment regarding the consent agenda and resolutions not on the consent agenda, please raise your hand and we will acknowledge you to come forward to the podium. You'll have 3 minutes to make your comments. Please state your name and address before beginning your comment and indicate which resolution you are speaking to. Are there any public comments at this time? Yes, Autumn Smith.
Good evening. I'm going to be commenting on 453 to 460. There's 8 resolutions about budgets. Government and public agencies are not so public when it comes to disclosing their own finances and financial conduct, operations, spending, and productivity. Like many other less than transparent organizations, it appears that when it comes to budgets, finances, they do have something to hide. It's called the CAFR, Comprehensive Annual Financial Report. It's the name of the financial accounts of any public agency. It's standard to all government agencies. The hard numbers of government financials are in the CAFR. This is true reporting of all accounts, flows, holdings, and what should be being discussed is the CAFR. But all we seem to hear about are budgets. The budget is something very different. The budget is nothing more than a propaganda hallucination versus an accurate tool of financial reporting. The budget is a projection, a goal, a target, an accounting, and the budget is inferior to the CAFR account. Suppose the city has $1 trillion in the CAFR, but they tell you they have no budget for dog catcher or transportation. That may be true. They have a bunch of money, but they have only budgeted nothing for dog catcher or transportation. This has nothing to do with any shortage of any funds. It's just a budget decision. But let's say they decided to budget $1 million for another project or department. That just means they went into the CAFR for the $1 million and we're told that they budgeted $1 million for that said project. But what they don't tell us is that the remaining $1 trillion in the CAFR account from which they are dispensing the $1 million. We are then led to believe that when they spend that $1 million, they will have nothing left, and in return, we the citizens are then levied with more increases in taxes and other cost increases. They lead us to believe that the budget is all that there is. The government is broke and that they are actually sitting on the funds in the CAFR. If the proposed budgeted project costs more, we are then told that they went over budget and they need to raise taxes or borrow money to cover the extra costs. I think it is high time that we are honest, transparent, and forthright with the citizens about the financial state of the city. Instead of reporting on budgets, start reporting on the CAFR. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Are there any other comments at this time? Yes, ma'am.
I want to, in our neighborhood, the road, they have to keep paving. They pave it every 2 years or 3 years. And I brought pictures to show you what they actually looking like.
Okay.
And we would like to have, instead of patching it, we would like to have a new road if we could.
Okay. If you give me your name and address, I'll make sure someone gets back to you.
Debbie McNutt Morris.
Okay? You
My
don't need to
address is 93 Lakefront Drive.
Okay, good enough. If you want to put them in that basket, I'll make sure we get them, and then we'll get back to you. And thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you.
Any other public comment this time? Any other public comment? John?
John Kinnifick, 234 South Avenue. I'm going to be talking about Resolution 466. Approximately 14 years ago, during the recession and the banking closing, The city commission assured the citizens that they would have no cost increases. 3 months later, again 14 years ago, they approved the tax bond schedule with 232 cost increases that would hit the citizens without them being aware of it. Last June, the tax bond schedule, this city commission approved 167 cost increases. 466 is the next tax bond schedule that's in front of you. A tax bond schedule has 63 pages of cost increases that you'd have to pay if you went to the city of Battle Creek. 17 of these in this resolution are cost increases and cost decreases. There are 135 cost increases that are being approved in this resolution. Let me give you an example of page 48. You're going to have something that would normally cost somebody $2,412. It's going to be up to $2,758.90. Another example of a cost increase. Something that would cost $3,580 is going to $3,720.15. One of the first, that is a $140.15 increase. Now, in this is also 34 cost decreases. And this is when things get really interesting. Because on page 46, if you were to pay a fee, which would normally be right now $15,250.03, it's gone down 3 cents. You'll have another one that's $30,500.06. That's dropping 6 cents. There are approximately 16 of these that are just adjusting the pennies at the very bottom. This is how, very subtly, the government of Battle Creek and county and state and federal have these similar tax bond schedules, and you don't always see them, but they come in sideways and things go up. I would suggest that you don't vote in favor of this. You're going to do it anyway. I had a statement said by a high-end city person, and they said that there was going to be probably a loan coming out, and they had the money to pay for it. Of course they're going to have money to pay for it. You got all these cost increases coming in sideways. Thank you.
Are there any other public comments at this time? Yes, Steve? We'll go to you, Marcel, after that.
Steve Koch, 548 Washington Avenue. Last time I was here, I wasn't able to speak because I was muffled. This time, I'm going to speak on a different issue than the issue that was here last time I was here. I attempted to get my property repaired between my property line and the road. It's all asphalt. And the city told me, we don't repair that. That's
Steve,
not
can
our...
you tell me what resolution you're speaking towards?
I'm not talking about any resolution at this
Right,
point.
then
I'm talking about money.
I'm going to ask you to, is there a resolution you're speaking to or not?
I'm just talking generally about money. Just in general, we're talking about money, so I'm going to talk about money.
All right, then I'll ask you to sit down, and then
Okay,
you can come
here we
up at
go.
the end of the meeting. Thank you. Marcel?
Marcel Heath, 67 College Street. Resolution 462. Resolution seeking authorization from the city manager to temporarily suspend a park rule prohibiting fishing to be allowed for children fishing activities pre-event June 9th. That's the free fishing weekend in Michigan. It'll be the 3rd annual Johnny Jake Collar Teach a Kid to Fish event in August 11th. And so we're basically seeking authorization for 2 different dates. I am the program director for Fatherhood Family Service Hub. I service fathers and families in town. In our monthly event, we're going fishing on Goldwag Lake, and I have worked with small business development and Early Childhood Connection, CISD, in partnership, and YMCA to land a opportunity for dads to come together and engage in fishing here locally. We went out to Fort Custer last year, and DNR was checking tags and sent half my dads away. And so that was due after our 5th year being out there. And so we reorganized, and we're looking for an opportunity to go fishing on Goldwack Lake. So
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Good luck, all right? Are there any other public comments at this time? Seeing no other further public comments, we'll move on to commission comment regarding meeting business.
I move for the approval of the consent agenda.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve the consent agenda. Are there any questions by the commission? Seeing none, would you please vote on the consent agenda? The consent agenda has been approved. Next item on our agenda is Resolution 461. Madam Clerk, when you're ready.
This solicitation, which consists of sidewalk, driveway, tree, curb, and gutter removals, and replacements in kind at various addresses around the city of Battle Creek that have sidewalk complaints, was issued March 14, 2024. The city received one bid, which was slightly over the engineer's estimate. Provided the bidder is responsive and responsible and within budget, awarding when receiving only one bid is allowed. The bid was reviewed by the city engineer and the city engineering project manager. A recommendation was made to accept the bid as recommended, as the contractor has done work with the city in the past. If approved, this resolution accepts the lowest responsible bid for 2024 sidewalk repair program from Hunter Prell Company in an estimated amount of $270,630 with unit prices prevailing. The city manager or her designee is also authorized to approve change orders for up to 10% in aggregate for city initiated and pre-approved changes for unseen field conditions that are not itemized in the contract.
I move for the approval of Resolution 461.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve Resolution 461. Are there any questions by the commission? Seeing none, would you please vote on 461? Resolution 461 has been approved. Next item on our agenda is Resolution 462.
Section 5A of Battle Creek Ordinances, Chapter 1060, Parks and Public Grounds, permits the city manager to make such rules and regulations, subject to approval by the City Commission, pertaining to conduct in and the use of parks and public grounds as are necessary to administer the same and to protect public property and the safety, health, morals, and welfare of the public. Willard Beach is part of the city's park system, and there is currently a rule posted at the planned site of the 3rd annual Johnny Jake Collier Teach a Kid to Fish event, as well as a new connected pre-event in June focusing on fathering without fear or violence, facilitated by Marcel Heath of Early Childhood Connections, that prohibits fishing. If approved, this resolution authorizes the city manager to temporarily suspend a park rule prohibiting fishing to allow for 2 children's fishing activities, a pre-event on June 9, 2024, and the 3rd annual Johnny Jake Collier Teach a Kid to Fish event on August 11, 2024, to take place at the specified Goldwack Lake location.
I move for the approval of Resolution 462.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve Resolution 462. Are there any comments by the commission? Commissioner Simmons.
Just a question for city staff, what the reasoning behind disallowing fishing at other times throughout the year at city parks? I mean, obviously the Goldwack Lake is a public lake, has public access. Can someone explain that, please?
I'm not sure I know the history, complete history. Ted may have some more history than I do. It has been in place for quite a long time.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure that I'm as familiar with the history as well, although there has been no fishing, obviously, in the beach area for quite some time, obviously, because there are, residents, particularly children, who are using that area. That seems to permeate through this particular portion of the property, which is just outside the main vehicle gates. So, Commissioner, I can't say I know specifically when or why that rule was put in place, but it is certainly still in place today.
I mean, fishing doesn't seem like something that's a nefarious activity, and I have probably broken the law there with my children when they were young. At Goldwack Lake, there's quite a bit of the Willard Beach that is not beach that could be accessed for that. I remember taking them to Irving Park and fishing in those ponds there. So I guess I would like a little history, and maybe we just do away with this restriction altogether. But I'm supportive of this today. Thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Reynolds?
Yes, they are fishing at Bailey Park, so I guess I'm not understanding the difference between that and out at Galway Lake. What's the difference?
Well, I think it has a lot to do with considered the beach property and not trying to infringe upon those who are using the beach and swimming, because you certainly don't want people casting into the beach or the swimming area. That's not usually what happens around the lake area or the river area and in Bailey Park. But again, without knowing all of the history, I can't necessarily say why there's a distinguish between Gogwek Lake and, let's say, the river at Bailey.
Well, I am a supporter of it, so just want to let you know that.
Any other commission comments? Commissioner Patrick O'Donnell.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd just like to thank the gentleman for having an event like that to allow us to get our fathers out there to teach children a skill and fun. I remember taking my son out for the first time fishing and the excitement of having just a little fish on the end of the hook. And so thank you for your support to the community and everything you do for this event.
Okay, are we ready to vote?
Yes.
Please vote on Resolution 462. Resolution 462 has been approved. Congratulations, Marcel. Next item on our agenda is Resolution 463. Madam Clerk, when you're ready.
For a number of years, the city has provided the services of a school liaison officer at the Lakeview School District in its high school. Last year, the police department and the Lakeview School Superintendent and School Board extended that arrangement to add a liaison to the elementary schools, serving in the various district elementary schools as assigned. If approved, this resolution authorizes the city manager to enter into 2 3-year agreements between the City of Battle Creek and Lakeview School District to provide 1 certified police officer to carry out the duties of a school liaison officer at Lakeview Elementary Schools and 1 at Lakeview High School, covering school years 2024 to 2025, 2025 to 2026, and 2026 to 2027.
I move for the approval of Resolution 463.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve Resolution 463. Are there any comments by the commission? Seeing none, would you please vote on 463? Resolution 463 has been approved. Next item on our agenda is Resolution 464.
Historically, the city has provided the services of a school liaison officer throughout the entire school day for the school year to be placed in various school buildings. In the last approximately 6 years prior to the 2023-2024 school year, the agreement provided 1 police officer to serve as school liaison officer at the high school. With the agreement for the 2023-2024 school year, Battle Creek Public Schools decided to return to placing 1 school liaison officer in various school buildings. This year's agreement also allows for placing the liaison officer in various school district buildings. In addition, the compensation has been increased to also provide for the liaison officer to serve during the 2024 summer school session. If approved, this resolution authorizes the city manager to enter into an agreement between the City of Battle Creek and Battle Creek Public Schools to provide 1 certified police officer to carry out the duties of a school liaison officer at 1 or more Battle Creek Public School District buildings for the 2024-2025 school year.
I move for the approval of Resolution 464.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve Resolution 464. Are there any comments by the commission? Seeing none, would you please vote on 464? Resolution 464 has been approved. Next item on our agenda is Resolution 465.
Per the Battle Creek budget policy of the City Commission, the city manager has prepared a recommended annual budget that considers current service levels, input from the community-wide strategic planning process, the City Commission goal-setting process, and priorities that reflect the changing needs of the community. Proper notice has been given, and a public workshop and public hearing were held for the fiscal year 2024-2025 budgets as recommended. This resolution seeks to approve the millage rate of 15.665 to be levied for fiscal year 2024 to 2025 and adopts the general fund and special funds budget for the fiscal year 2024-2025 as recommended.
Move for the approval of Resolution 465.
Support.
So moved and supported to approve Resolution 465. Are there any comments by the commission? Seeing none, would you please vote on Resolution 465? Resolution 465 has been approved. Next item on our agenda is Resolution 466.
Section 802.24 of the codified ordinances of the City of Battle Creek provides that the City Commission shall, from time to time, by resolution, enact a schedule of fees required to be paid, bonds required to be posted, and insurance required to be carried. The fee, bond, and/or insurance is required to obtain a license to engage in the operation, conduct, or carrying on of any trade, profession, business, or privilege for which a license or permit is required by the codified ordinances. This resolution seeks approval of the 2024-2025 fee, bond, and insurance schedule for the City of Battle Creek.
I move for the approval of Resolution 466.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve Resolution 466. Are there any questions, comments by the commission? Seeing none, would you please vote on Resolution 466? Resolution 466 has been approved. Next item on our agenda is general public comment. If you'd like to make general public comment regarding matters over which the City Commission has control, please raise your hand and wait for us to acknowledge you. Then come forward to the podium. You'll have 3 minutes to make your comment. Please state your name and address prior to making the comment. Steve, if you want to go first, you're welcome.
Last time it was about my 548 Washington Avenue, Battle Creek, Michigan. Last time it was about the fact that I have to pay money out of my pocket to take care of an easement of my driveway between my property line and the road because the City of Battle Creek will not repair it, even though the water comes down the road and goes right into my driveway and has for about 20 years and comes back out of my driveway and leaves me nice and ice and snow and stuff. But we're not going to talk about that now. What we're going to talk about now is the fact that last time I was here 2 weeks ago, I attempted to talk about an agenda, and I was told to shut up and sit down. Okay, well, the problem with that is it was a violation of my First Amendment, number one. And I was speaking on a different agenda. It wasn't the same agenda as I had spoke with before. So what I have done is I have already spoke to a mouthpiece, and I've been advised basically to take the proper legal channels that are necessary, including your municipal bond you guys just spoke about. I'm going to be putting a mark on that one. So anyhow, long story short, one thing you have to understand is the people here don't work for you. At least most of you don't. You guys all work for us, number one. My right to free speech is unalienable. That's why it's number one. It's not number 12 or number 10. It's number one. You guys should know that. I know that. Your right to speech ends when mine begins, and mine ends when yours begins. It's the way it works in the real world out here, okay? You're supposed to represent us. When you don't represent us, it's time for you to leave, okay? And I won't speak to one of my ward commissioners on that one because that's being worked out right now. So anyhow, long story short, you can do what you want up here, but there's always repercussions legally down the road, and it ends up costing the city money in lawsuits and defamation of character and other things that happen. And you know how it all works. And someone has to make some sort of agreement not to disclose what the transitions were and who got paid what to shut up and da-da-da-da-da and non-competes and all that other stuff. I know all about all that stuff. I've been here since '74. I know what goes on in the city. I know everything that goes on in the city. I hear everything that goes on in the city. Most times, 99% of the time, I don't say a freaking word. But when you start telling me to shut up and go sit down, that's a problem. because I don't tell you to shut up and sit down. I don't tell you to be quiet. You have a right to speak. Whether I agree with you or don't agree with you is irrelevant. You violated my rights. Enjoy it.
David?
David Moore. I unfortunately missed the meeting last week. It was a good meeting. I watched it on TV. I support all these flags, and some people still think I'm against it, but I'm not. But like I said, we have American, the state, and the city, and in the center, and there's other flags around it. Right now, we display one flag, maybe for 1 month. I think see it all be out there all year round. Like I said, couple months ago, something like that. And it looked pretty for the city, or River City, real nice. And I disagree. I'd like to see it done a little bit different way you guys are doing it now. It's just, everybody can be representative. There's no reason for it. Be great for Battle Creek, make a warm ending, make it people see, people feel welcome. It's just, if you just get a system and we're all going to display at the same time, all equally, and all year round. And it's just something I would like to see for the city. And nobody has to talk about that very much. We do that in the big city, do that down in Washington. Flags in the center and other flags around it. Our nations does that. And I don't know why we can't do it. It's just a good way I like to see everybody be equally represented. And our budget, and I think a lot of work needs to be done on it yet, and so, thank you.
Thank you, David. Any other public comments? Yes, Mary?
Mary Bourgeois, 231 Springview Drive. I'd like to know the status of permitting tiny houses within Battle Creek. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mary. Any other public comments at this time? Yes, sir.
Good evening. My name is Alex Harris, 16582 28 Mile Road, Albion, Michigan. Just wanted to come and introduce myself personally, running for State Representative, 44th District. I tried to come a month ago, but the tornado kind of shoot us out of here. So I'm glad to finally hear some of the issues, and I look forward to solving these with your help. Thank you.
Good luck. Thank you, Al. Yes. Autumn Smith.
Here to speak about the flag. Got a flag right here I'd like to ask to be flown. I can give you a little bit of background information on it. The pine tree flag, or the Liberty Tree flag, historically has been known to fly at town halls, churches, riverbanks, and at the nation's capital, then in Philadelphia. The flag's phrase, "An appeal to heaven," was first used by John Locke in his second treatise on civil government regarding the right of citizens who have been denied justice to go above the king's head. Where the body of the people is deprived of their right, where there lies no appeal on earth, they have just cause to make their appeal to heaven. Where there is no judicature or justice on earth to decide controversies amongst men, God in heaven is judge. He alone is true the judge of the right, so it is he should appeal to the supreme judge. Patrick Henry also referenced the phrase in his "Give me liberty or give me death" speech at the Second Virginia Convention on March 23, 1775. An appeal to arms and to the God of hosts is all that is left to us. We shall not fight our battles alone. There is a just God who presides over all the destinies of nations. Massachusetts Provisional Congress stated on April 26, 1775, following the battles at Lexington and Concord, appealing to heaven for the justice of our cause, we determined to die or to be free. Thomas Jefferson also referenced it when drafting the Declaration of Causes and Necessity for Taking Up Arms on July 6, 1775. The Declaration of Independence, which was authored on July 4, 1776, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions to do declare that these United Colonies, our rights, ought to be free and independent states. Again, I'm asking, I've already asked a couple commissioners, I got one answer from one, 0 from another commissioner. There's 7 more of you. So I would like to have this flag fly at City Hall in the month of August, since I think we've already got July occupied, and since June has already started. So if I could put that out there, I would appreciate it. I also want to make a real quick comment about the ARPA presentation. I question the appropriation of those funds. Nothing against the Share Center. I support it. I volunteered there. My mother's volunteered there over the years and stuff. But the ARPA funds were specifically earmarked to only be used for negative economic impact, premium pay for eligible workers, government services, lost revenue, water, sewer, and broadband. Those were all capital improvement projects. Those do not fall under any of those categories. Also, you guys funded the DEI officer with ARPA funds. That does not fit in any of those categories. Perhaps we need to look into MCL 129.61, PA 94 of 129 of misappropriation of government funds. Thank you.
Are there any other public comments at this time? John?
John Kennefic, 234 South Avenue. At the last commission meeting, in commission comments, there was a comment in regards to by the Ward 4 City Commissioner about how the lawns were overgrown over by the Capitol Southwest I-94 overpass. And a comment was made in regards to maybe the contractor didn't get to mow those. So I was out there yesterday and I took this photograph around the I-94 Capitol Southwest Bridge. And it is still overgrown. But today, I took 4 photographs within the city limits of Battle Creek. And the 4 photographs you're going to see are all of Battle Creek government properties. This hasn't been mowed in 2 years. This has not been mowed in 2 years. This has not been mowed in 2 years. The final one has not been mowed in 20 years. Now, about 20 or so years ago, I was showing grass to the City Commission and how tall it was. And after the meeting, the Assistant City Manager, Ken Tushiyama, and I spoke. And he was explaining to me why city property was not being mowed. And he came up with what's called 2 excuses. One, he said, is that the city government contracts to a subcontractor or contractor. Maybe he hasn't did his job. And I was thinking about that at that time, and I said, well, if a citizen of Battle Creek hires little Tommy down the street to mow their lawn and they don't mow it, and it gets a little tall, and the city comes out and says, hey, you got to mow your lawn, it's okay not to have it mowed because little Tommy is the contractor and he didn't do it. The second reason, which I thought was really interesting by Ken Tushiyama, was that he said that the city government is on a budget, and there might not be enough money to mow these lawns. Approximately 22 to 25% of the adult population in Battle Creek is on or below the poverty level. So if they don't mow their lawns, are you going to give them a free pass because they're having financial problems? Or are you going to say, I don't care what you think. You got to mow your lawn no matter what, which is the normal policy of the government, regardless of that. So 2 excuses that he was using are not valid for everyone else, so why should they be valid for the government of Battle Creek? Thank you.
Any other public comments at this time? Seeing none, any commission comments? Commissioner Chris Simmons.
Can I give an update on this grass mowing? I heard back, thank you, Ted, for reaching out to the Michigan Department of Transportation. And I learned that they, and I'm basically going to call them out here, have decided to let it go natural. So maybe that's what the city's doing in those other parcels. And I return the question to the city is, are they allowed to do that, especially on that bridge, which is in a commercial corridor? I didn't realize that was an option, so maybe if our residents get cited now, they can just say, I'm letting it go natural if that's an option. So anyway, it's been a big frustration this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Any other, Commissioner Patrick's?
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to say thank you to the people that put together a wonderful event Saturday, the Taste of the Creek, to start getting us out thinking about summertime in our great city of ours. Coming up this weekend, we have the Cereal Festival, and I hope everyone goes down and parades on Friday. And I believe that some cereal product available down on that Friday. And then the Enjoy a Bowl. We're in competition with Springfield, Massachusetts, so we're going to show them we are the real cereal city. But then following weekend, we've really got some good stuff going on with Juneteenth, and take a little bit of time and go out and see Bobby Holly's going to be handing out bikes also on June 15th if you can make it out to the Kia out there. And I want to just again with the bike event and Bobby Holly and the fishing day, I just want to say thank you to some of our volunteers in our town that are just wanting to start some positivity and outreach to our youth. I remember being a youth in this town and getting to go to some of these events, and my children get to attend them too, and the joy it brings just to feel the purpose of people caring enough for them to give back. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other commission comments? Commissioner Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, just on that note, and it's Cereal Fest this weekend, I'd like to congratulate Springfield on the second longest breakfast table. It's a lovely city, and I hope everybody makes it out there and checks it out. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other comments? Hearing none, I'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you for attending.